everyone, it's Jack here. Now today, no intro to the video, I just want to get straight into it because there's a little bit to explain. It's basically a video on how I made over 10K in sales. Now I know that this video may be a little clickbaity in the sense that, oh, you know, watch me have sold 10K and whatnot. It's not the purpose of this video. Well, it kind of is. I do want to make it a little bit clickbaity, but it is real. I have sold over 10K on Amazon. This was back when I sold in the US. These are products that I grew a little bit. Now I don't sell these anymore. I've moved over to the Aussie market now where I'm trying to grow my own products now instead, and yes, helping my students grow as well. But I want to show you what the products are, which I'll do in a second. But before I do that, I want to tell you guys a bit about how I did it, how I found my first product, how I found that second product there, and both, you know, selling those to help me reach over the 10K mark. I'll put a screenshot here somewhere. Which was what I sold, you know, in total for these two products, and this was, you know, over a couple of months, maybe a couple of months that I ended up doing that. And yes, I sold a bit more after that of those products, and then eventually I stopped selling them, moved on to different products, and then now, like I said, in the Aussie market as well, where I'm trying to grow as well. So you'll most likely see videos for my own sales in the Aussie market in the future. Not sure how long in the future because I want to grow those first to show you guys what can be done in the Aussie market. Not only that, I'm going to show you guys, you know, results from my students as well, which if you haven't seen already, it's already on my Instagram, on my Facebook pages and whatnot. You've got results from my students that are selling on the Aussie market as well. Right here in Australia on Amazon, you've got results from them too. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into this. Now, first method that I did to find my very first product was the database research. Now back then I used Jungle Scout, which eGrow works exactly the same, but Jungle Scout doesn't work for the Aussie market. Now as you can see here, I've got here, remember the 5-to-1 ratio rule for the Oz market. I'm going to tell you guys what that is in a second, but first of all, I'm going to show you what database research is. So if you don't know what eGrow is, it's a product research software that can work for both the US and the Aussie market. If you're looking to sell in either, that you know, eGrow works for both. So this is what I've done here. Now, when you log into eGrow, you will be, like when you first make an account, you will have the free version. For the purpose of this video, I've gone and, because I usually only do a month-by-month subscription for the months that I do product research. So I just went ahead and got the standard version for the month just to show you guys what the standard version looks like. Now this part here is going to look the same, but when you look for products, it's going to show you pretty much about half the products that mine will when we go through and look at this in this video, because it's the free version. If you want all the products, or if you want more products, go the standard version. I think it's about $35 to maybe $40 for the month. You only need to pay for that month if you know, just pay for the months that you're doing product research. That's my best bet. So follow along with me here. These are the categories that I pretty much did when I was looking through Jungle Scout. I'm going to do the same thing here, but I actually found my product doing this method, and I'll show you guys what that 5-to-1 ratio is as well. That was in the Word document. So these are pretty much the top sort of categories that I'd look for. Very easy categories to start getting sold in, the more popular categories for when you're first starting. Now the reason we're choosing these is because it's the easiest to start selling, and it's pretty much got products that don't really need any approval or any requirements to start selling. It's very different to if you were selling, you know, anything like clothing, maybe books, especially things like movies, sometimes even toys and games, and especially video games as well. So go ahead and follow along. Make sure you've got the baby and the beauty categories, health, household and personal care, home improvements, pet supplies, and then the sports. Now with the Aussie market, you can also get away with sports, fitness and outdoors. If we're on the US, probably steer a little more clear of the fitness category, because it's so saturated and populated. It might be very hard to break into that market. So with the Aussie market, we've got a bit of leeway. Also make sure when using eGrow that you've got the .com.au. It'll probably be set on the US. Make sure it's on .com.au so you're searching on the Aussie market. So for the price, I've got 24. Now we can make this $25 as well. I'd do $25 to $65. You can sell products that are under that, but just when you're looking, make sure that it's no less. Try and be no less than $15, because if it's under $15, it really breaks your margin for profit. Reviews, now I don't worry too much about reviews because the Aussie market is still growing, it's still maturing. Don't have to worry too much about that. Number of views, I just did a maximum of 100. Estimated sales, you want to make sure that they're at least selling 200 units per month, at least. You can do 100, but then you're sort of looking on the low side and probably going to be searching for a product that doesn't have too much demand. So, estimated revenue, I put 4,500 to 11,500. I know that's quite broad, but you can, like again, you can get away with the Aussie market as well. Rest of these here, I don't worry too much about, like the net amount they made. I don't worry too much about that. The weight, I just put a maximum of 1 kilogram as well, and I didn't really put in any keywords. I just made sure to put in the standard size. Make sure to put in all, FBA, including, what Amazon sells, including just fulfilled by merchant as well, just so you've got the most amount of products that you can find. So once you've done that, you want to go ahead and hit search. Now you can change these up as well. Before we go ahead and hit search, you can change these up as well and change the parameters if you want to find a certain amount of products as well. If you see that there's too many products on the page, I'll show you in a second, but if you see that there's too many on the page, you can change it and make the parameters smaller so there's less products. You don't want to go through too many because you can fizzle your brain out. So not sure if it shows how many products we've got. It might do so at the middle, at the bottom of the page, but we'll do 100 per page. And as you can see here, we've already got a lot of products. Now if we go down to the bottom, 184 entries, so that's not too bad. Under 200 usually pretty good to start looking at. But this is exactly how I found my first product, which I'll show you in a second. I just went through this and I searched through. Now this is one thing to check out as well for the monthly revenue when we're going through this 5-to-1 ratio. So the product that I was looking for was something small and light, something that you couldn't really get in big box retailers, and something that had good demand as well. So you can go through as well after this and put in the main keyword into Amazon to see how many sellers there are, what they're doing in terms of in terms of revenue, see how many people are doing good revenue, see how many sellers there are selling that particular product. So when I go through here, stuff like this, Parrotta, straight out. Stuff like any liquid or soaps or anything like that, cleansers, straight out. I'm looking for something similar to, Hydro Flask is okay, orthopedic memory foam cushion, probably more so in the right direction. You're looking for stuff that you can brand, you're looking for stuff that, you really can't find very easily, even if it's stuff you can find on eBay. It's probably better because a lot of people aren't going to be price checking, but it's stuff that you don't want to find in your big box retailers, in Coles and Woolies, stuff that you just can't pick up from your corner shop. It's got to be stuff that's harder to find, stuff that's more so only going to be found through Amazon or online, online shopping as well. So, there's a lot of stainless steel vacuum trouble mugs as well. I'm not trying to find a product right now for this video. I'm just showing you guys how I did it. So let's just say, to shorten the video up a little bit, let's just say we like the look of, there was another one up here that I didn't mind. Let's just say we like the look of the Hydro Flask, I know that there is some people, actually there's a lot of people around that are looking at selling these, in different groups and whatnot, different Amazon selling groups. I've seen that this is a thing, but let's just say if, Hydro Flask is something we wanted to go to. So we'll click on that. It'll bring us to more details about the page. This is where the 5-to-1 ratio rule comes out. Calculator for this 5-to-1 ratio. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in, because when it comes to eGrow and the numbers aren't accurate. Well, what we found, myself and the students, that are in my course, have found that eGrow isn't accurate, as accurate with the Amazon, with the numbers on Amazon, with the Aussie market as it is with the US, and we've cross-checked this with their own products and whatnot as well. We've come to that conclusion. Now, the closest thing that I've found to get with consistent numbers when it comes to the Aussie market is dividing it by 5, and that's why I say 5 eGrow sales are pretty much the closest as to 1 real sale. So that's why we divide it by 5. Now, I think this is just because they use the same algorithm as they do on the US site, because it seems to be more accurate when it comes to the US market as it is in the Aussie market. So what we're going to do with this product is divide this number, so 8643 divided by 5, and that gives us a more realistic number, so 1,728. Now, what I would do is so that's not a bad number. that's not a bad number for the Aussie market. You know, almost 2K in revenue for the month. That's still not bad. You can find products that are more. And obviously, you know, what I'd look for is, you know, if you've got around the 2K mark, that's a good start. If you can find something that's 3 to 5K after doing this method, you know, if you look for, let's just say, if we looked for the Hydro Flask, if we went into Amazon, you know, the Australian site, and typed in Hydro Flask, and we went and looked on eGrow on that page, if 3 to 5 sellers were selling this Hydro Flask and they were all, you know, making that 3 to 5K per month, you know, revenue per month, that would be a good start, because that's how you know the sales volumes are high and it's got good demand and that they're consistent. And it's not just one seller doing it. If you look and it's only one seller doing this, it might seem like a good opportunity at the start, and you say, okay, there's only one seller on this, but they might be a dominating brand. So that's really the thing that you have to look out for here. So that's what I did when I first started this. Now, the very first product that I ended up doing 3K and 3K profit in a month for, I'll show you guys right now. So this is what it was here. This is the exact listing. This is all it was. This is on the US market, so it was a rose gold fashion bracelet flask. So it was basically a flask that, and this brand here I don't use anymore, this Easy Buy Life. That's what I first did. So these were all the photos that I did. This was all I did. This was, yeah, just a flask that women hid alcohol in. Well, I'm pretty sure a majority of people who bought it were women. And I did the photos myself. That was all I did. It was on the balcony here at home, and I just used. My dad had an old SLR camera. I just used that. I did some really cheap-looking photos as well, but you know, it worked. It worked for the time. I didn't do anything fancy with this as well. That's all it was. Now, I was selling it for more at the time. I think I was selling it for about almost $20, maybe even more. I can't remember. But when these first came out, these were selling for almost $40. Now it's down at $12, $13. This is US, but still. So that's all I did. So that was the first product as well, and that's how I found it was doing this method of the database research. So go ahead and try that. eGrow is a very powerful tool for you to be able to find products. Now the second way, which I'm going to show you now as well, is, and I'm going to show you the second product. I'm going to reveal that as well. I've never revealed it before, but I'm going to show you guys what it was and show you guys how I found it. So new release bestseller list is the second method that I used. I still use this to date as well. I always use both of these. I've been more so using new release bestsellers to give myself a better understanding of what people, you know, what's new, what are people buying. That's why I use that. So you just type in Amazon Australia new release bestsellers, and it'll bring you to this page here. Now, to find this particular product that I'm about to show you as well, I went into the kitchen and dining. So I went to kitchen and dining. These are the new release bestsellers for this category. Now, again, this is on the US, so I had to go into even further down the rabbit hole. But for Amazon Australia, you've got a bit more leeway. You can just go straight to the kitchen and dining and have a look through here. And then what you can actually do through here is you can hit eGrow as well, and it should bring up the numbers for this as well. So wait for that to load, and it'll show you the actual sales numbers for what these are selling, for the new release bestsellers. Okay, so these are where the bigger numbers are. So this is on Australia. This is on the Australian site, just, you know, mind you. So fulfilled by merchant as well. So FBM, some of these are FBA. So this is an FBA product. So this is a precision cooker. So I'm not exactly sure what that does, but so let's just say we're going to use a 5-to-1 rule on this, just for fun anyway. Let's have a look here. So we've got 99830, and people say that the Amazon Australia is slow, and I beg to differ. Even though it's got room to grow, even though I still think it's going to be a couple of years away until it hits its peak, there's still money to be made. So we're going to divide that by 5. So they're selling almost 20,000 in revenue per month. Now let's just say, you know, you've got 40% profit on that as well. So obviously you can work that out. You know, they're still making good profit on the Aussie market. Now they're number 1 in the bestseller, but this is exactly how I found my second product as well. So I came down here looking for ideas, you know, and I ended up finding, you know, certain idea that I wasn't sure was going to work, but I went ahead and I looked at the numbers and I went for it anyway. It was a product that started off slow as well. I'll show you guys right now. This isn't the exact product. This isn't the exact brand, but this is pretty much the exact same product. It was the same color and everything. But all it was, so if you guys know what pressure cookers are, was a silicon mold for when people made food out of eggs. It was an egg mold. So they put it in their pressure cooker. It came with a lid as well, and I put mine. I gave mine, gave an ebook away with mine as well. So it showed you how to use it. It gave you different recipes and whatnot, and ended up growing that. Now these again sold for a higher price. They sold closer to $20 when I first started selling it, and I think I sold mine at the top of its sales. I think I sold mine at about $14, $15. It was going really well. So that was my second product as well. Now both of these products, so this one here and this one here, yes, ended up selling me. I think it was around 12,000, in revenue for for those couple of months. So they did pretty well, and the sales went on from there. Like I said before, sales went on, and then ended up letting go of those products and not focusing on them as much because I moved on to different products, moved on to better products than that, and now as well moving away from the US market because I kind of like to test different products, see what works well, see how far I can grow them, and then from there, now that I'm onto the Aussie market, I'm going to start growing in the Aussie market as well as helping the students because my main focus now is helping the students, but I'm still, like I said, growing on the Aussie market as well to show what can be done. You'll probably see that in the future, but these are both, they're the ways that I found my products, and these were the products as well. So hopefully this gives you some ideas. Now, just like I said, I still use these methods, but yeah, they're very, very powerful. And take a screenshot of this if you want. But remember, for eGrow, especially when using eGrow, use this 5-to-1 ratio for the Aussie market as well. Especially, even when you're looking at new release bestsellers and you're hitting this Chrome extension up here for eGrow, still want to use that 5-to-1 ratio. But these are the methods that I use. I hope this helps you guys. I'm going to stop this video here, but go ahead, like I said, play around with those numbers in the database and play around with these here and see what you can find. You'll be able to find some interesting stuff, and try and stick to these if you're just starting. Try and stick to these categories, and you should find some interesting products, some interesting ideas at the very least. So apart from that, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys in the next one.